My next upload today is with regard to profession and purpose and the issue of those that have intruded upon me and caused very serious issues in my community. As I've mentioned throughout all of these uploads, there are individuals suffering from imposter syndrome. They have their own identity, they have their own qualifications, they have their own roles and positions. This issue hasn't just been treasonous, it's been hate crime, and hate crime is an offence against the state. So every day I'm experiencing retaliatory offences that aren't being addressed. And my work as a humanitarian, I'm an apolitical individual. I have a very important role in society as a humanitarian and as an award recipient of humanitarian agencies. The individuals that have imposed upon my profession as a humanitarian and that have tried to negate my achievements are suffering from imposter syndrome. They have disrupted a society and they have displayed a morbid mentality with regard to how they feel they control the situation. The control theory they are applying is isolationist tactics and minimal information being provided and obligations not being fulfilled. Now, I find it very concerning that these individuals are being accommodated in their offences. The issue of a royal humanitarian being disrespected affects other people, especially when there's been an innocent child actually harmed as well, my child. So every life is precious. Everyone's longevity, purpose is important. And in this particular circumstance, very much so. My role in society, legislation, spiritually as a universal sentient, the individuals that have imposed upon my purpose and that have caused very serious disruption in society have for the past 3 to 4 years been jeopardizing people's professions and purposes and positions. The issue of being a sentient being, a sacred person, disrespecting a sacred purpose is quite serious. Damaging sacred light is quite serious. It's quite dangerous. And especially when there's been blasphemy of individuals involved in this matter as well. So those that are of avoidance and not addressing the issues that are being caused are not helping themselves or their objectives when they aren't able to comfortably adapt to their own purpose. So there is a collective working with an objective to impose upon my identity. This doesn't just involve my profession, my achievements, my purpose, my property, my child, my entitlements. These people have caused very serious offence in many respects, and they have continued to cause offence, and they have stolen vast amounts that they have absolutely no right to, that they did not earn, and that they have not had an entitlement to. So my first upload this morning was due to the noise pollution and the offences occurring in this accommodation. The royal issue is one matter, but the humanitarian is a more important matter, and the spiritual is an even more important matter. So the abuse of these individuals against these pillars of spirituality and the constitution and ancestry. That's highlighting, their offences are highlighting their disrespect for progress. And it's highlighting their inadequacy and incompetence in their own identities. I'm fully aware of the individuals that are perpetrating identity theft of my identity. I'm fully aware of them. They have been causing problems since a long time in the past, and they're still to this day disrupting the community. So this issue of sacred is a huge concern for me as a sentient sacred. I have a concern for the effects on other people due to other people's, the culprits' incompetence, the culprits offending the state are harming other people's lives. Now, collective prayer groups are all very lovely and fantastic, but when it's for an objective that is an offence against innocence, then there's a little bit of an issue. So I have another concern with regard to how these people of prayer groups think that after all their offences and blasphemy and defamation and their theft are achieving any positive objective. The individuals that are new to this situation, that think they are in a controlling position by obstructing and preventing, are disrespecting people's lives, and that's not very safe, and it's not very intelligent in a modern day and age. The issue of individuals trying to falsify the circumstances to suit their end goal or their objective are creating a fallacy that isn't very safe. There have been casualties as a consequence of these people imposing upon me, and they have disrespected health, wealth, well-being, family, faith, ancestry, culture, law, morality. And I'm very concerned about how comfortably they're sitting with their fallacy. So the issue of repeat offenders, of spurious and nonsense, is disservice. And those individuals of an impostor syndrome that are imposing upon my purpose and my good work in society are not fooling anyone. And it's very embarrassing that any professional adults in their qualifications would try to impose upon a person who they have absolutely no connection with, no affiliation with, no respect to what they have achieved. It's very unprofessional, and it's highlighting a huge inadequacy. So these kind of issues that I'm experiencing due to people of a fallacy, incompetence, obstruction, and disrespect to other people's lives and professions is no laughing matter. I wouldn't feel very smart if I had to cause a whole lot of trouble in a community amongst many people to make it seem that I'm something that I'm not. So the authenticity and the pathetic attempts of particular individuals that have no qualifications in my purpose that they are trying to impose upon and harmonise with are really making a mockery of the professions that they represent. So the issue of being of whistleblower protection laws, having worked for 3 state departments, being of the Fellowship of Recovery and having achieved much with other people's recovery, and having been of humanitarian work that has brought fruitful results since 2018, that the Honourable Government is fully aware of, is all relevant to my personal experience. So that I'm experiencing offences on a daily basis due to people that are trespassing on my property and stealing wealth and withholding my child and relaying falsehoods and just making an exacerbatory offence worse than what they have caused already in the past 3 years is not helping people's lives. It's highlighting an inadequacy, an incompetence. The Honourable Government that is fully aware of the work that I commenced in 2018, 2017, that has borne the fruits of positive outcomes, have been made aware of the offences I'm experiencing. Now, the individuals that think they're in control of longevity, without addressing their offences and having offended my little family, and having sat comfortably on my wealth, have not respected the principles of all these pillars that uphold progress, that facilitate and accommodate progress. So to the individuals of imposter syndrome that are highlighting their incompetence and immaturity and unprofessional behaviours, those obstructing my entitlements and that are within my proximity where they should not be, and that are dirtying the environment with their poor progress, are not highlighting a very intelligent behaviour. So the people that think they're of an isolationist tactic with regard to Mrs. Maria McElligott, withholding my child and my property and my wealth, and disrupting my purpose and profession, and negating my good humanitarian work, are insulting others also. So this is just to highlight the aspect of sacred being disrespected in society, and the insult of a fallacy of impostors being where they have no right to be. And as for my humanitarian achievements at home and abroad, I hope the Honourable Government will contact me as soon as possible with regard to the obligations that are to be met. My child is legally a missing person, my farm holdings in Ardfert and Kilflynn are being trespassed upon, and there is wealth and intellectual and creative property being looted. So there are poor developments in society affecting nature, wildlife, information, privacy, and these liabilities responsible for such have harmed innocence. So I would appreciate everyone that is of control theory and isolationist tactics and violations of the laws that be acknowledge the reflection it gives and the representation it presents to other countries of the mentality of begrudgery. So when a person hasn't achieved single-handedly on their own journey and has to cause this amount of disruption to this woman with identity theft and imposter syndrome, I have a huge concern for the level of sanity and sobriety in society.